Hello, dear friends. I welcome you on Alatra TV Middle East. We continue taking interviews within an amazing worldwide project, Creative Society on Alatra TV Middle East. We truly believe in building a society where every human in the world can live in health, peace, and happiness. And every single day, people over the world realize the importance of this project and they join to bring it to life in the near future. Let's talk about creative society with our guests. My co-host today is Olga. Olga, could you please introduce our valued guest?
Thank you, Nazira. Yeah, I'm pleased to see in our virtual studio today Kingsley Uchunor, IT specialist and IT support officer with strong interest in information networking, web development, and database management from Nigeria. Hello, dear Kingsley. How are you today?
Hello, good to have you all. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us and thank you for your will to speak on creative topic and about the creative society. Please, could you tell us a little about your life and your motto in your life? What motivates you and what's your mission?
I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, with my family and siblings, and I have had chance to interact with people from different spheres of life, which has given me a broad understanding of people and their way of living. And so I personally have thought of how we could best improve our lifestyle, knowing that we are bound to meet with people from different background with different nature, some common um, traits with what we are have grown up. But I came up with some kind of philosophy that if we must live together, then there should be some shared beliefs amongst us. And while I was studying for my undergraduate program, I did a diploma course in information technology that exposed me to networking. And the first topic I took in networking changed my orientation because it all aligned with all I have been thinking about humanity. And that is how to connect people together. And so it has been a driving force since that day I took the course. And so whatever I do now is basically to align with connecting humans together. And so because of the different backgrounds that people have grown up with, there seems to be a lot of frictions in how we can connect together. And so I believe we can come up with some new society, just like creative society is trying to do, that can bring humans together more peaceably and live a happy life. And so that's actually my motivation. And interestingly, it aligns with networking, which is one area of information technology that I have core interest in. And so, and I'm still in it. And I believe with what creative society is coming up with, it's an achievable future.
That's amazing mission. Thanks a lot for sharing with us your thoughts and especially about your interest in creative society. Can you also share with us, like, as soon as you found out about this project, what inspired you the most in the project Creative Society?
Well, I think it's more like something, one thing leading to another because it's quite surprising if in just few hours of knowing about something, you just have a holistic idea of what it's about and you are ready to deep, deep to dig deep into it. And so, what is exciting about being part of creative society is because it aligns with my personality, and I've had to talk about how we can create a more peaceable environment and society for humanity. And so that's basically what has been my motivation and why I'm so interested in creative society. Like I said, I haven't gotten the full picture of what the movement is about, but just the brief information I have suggests to me that it's the right movement to uphold.
Thank you, Kingsley. What do you see common in all people in the world? What unites all of us despite our skin color, religion, nationality, and social status? Please
Oh,
share your point of view.
okay, if we go back to the history of humanity, I think being human, an ability to see other persons from our own perspective is one thing that unites us together. But over time, there has been evolution in how humans live and adapt to the environment. So now we have more things that disunite us than things that unite us. If we talk about our languages, language seems to be a barrier in how people relate with one another, which is tied to their culture. And so if you see someone that speaks a particular language with a different culture, it's quite difficult to bridge the gap. But interestingly, technology has brought about lots of solutions that can help to bridge the gap. Translation tools are all around in the internet. So if you want to relate with somebody, there seems to be no barrier in that. So one other thing that is a tool that disunites humanity is religion, because there are people that have one belief and the other a different one, which has been a sort of disunity in making them see things from the same perspective. So, and currently, honestly, there hasn't been any tangible solution to that. But one interesting thing is that there is a feasible approach to how to reduce, or if I would say, eradicate religion differences in humanity. There hasn't been any solution to that. Religion is still a barrier in how people relate with one another. But I think education would go a long way. It has actually been uh, 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 a transformative measure in bringing people together. So the more we get people to see the importance of being educated, the better they will be enlightened, and uh, hopefully would be able to achieve that kind of unity we want amongst people from different religious backgrounds.
Thank you, Kingsley, for sharing your thoughts. And speaking about creative society, how do you envision this kind of society where everybody can feel comfortable, safe, and happy? The society without differences. Can you describe it just with your words?
I think if we can come up with some standards that people would align their daily activities towards. For instance, if you have a system, take for instance, a family, which is also a unit of the society. You could be the head of the family in a way that you tell the members what the family's mission is all about, and you daily inculcate that teaching into the members so that it becomes part of their part of them, and they consider whatever they want to do on daily basis in line with the standards, with some kind of principles, I would say. So I think one thing that can help is to first make people understand what we are trying to achieve and let them know the principles that should guide their daily lives. So if we can come up with a holistic principle of how we should live our life, okay, on daily basis, then we can achieve the kind of peaceable society that we envisage.
Thank you, Kingsley. Very deep understanding of the meaning of creative society. I just want to say in few words about how we came up with the 8 foundations of creative society. So over 9 years from day to day and place to place, we have been asking these questions to multiple people around the world, despite nations, religions, and any backgrounds. And the 8 foundations of the creative society have come as a summary of their answers. This is what people really want. This is what I really want to my family, friends, and all humankind. Let's watch a short video about it together.
The biggest social polling in our entire history of civilization has been conducted during the last 10 years by people around the world. 180 countries, millions of people of different social statuses, denominations, nationalities, talk about the society in which they want to live in. And this is a creative society based on the answers of the people from around the world. 8 foundations of creative society were established. A society where all people can live in happiness, peace, and prosperity. This is that very society that our prophets bequeathed to us. All prophets talked about the value of life, freedom, honesty, common human values, equality before God, mutual respect, and unification of people, about love for each other. They talked about the common truth and about the world which we can create. The prophet said, there will be a time when we're able to build a creative society. We are honored to live in the time which the prophets talked about, when everyone is chosen.
Dear friends, a whole article about foundations of creative society you can read at our website, allatraunites.com. And today we'll talk about one of foundations with our guest, Kingsley. I know that you like the fourth foundation of creative society. So let's see it on our screen now, and I will read it for our viewers and for you. Transparency and openness of information for all. Every human has the right to receive reliable information about the movement and distribution of public funds. Each human has access to information about the status of implementation of the society's decisions. The mass media belong exclusively to the society and reflect information truthfully, openly, and honestly. Please tell me why this exact foundation is close to your heart, why you chose it for discussion, and what do you think, what fulfills our information field now? What do we hear and see from all the media, movies, video clips, articles, YouTube channels, and everything else? And what would you like to see in our information field in creative society?
what I would say is that with what we have available over the internet, you have the openness of how you can verify the information you get from one source. So you don't take hook, line, and sinker, the information you get from one source, and act on it. At least you have the option to search for other sources, whether they have the same opinion about about the information that you get from one source. So the internet is the base where you can search for information, and it's open to a very large extent. So if we can lean on how the internet is open to everyone in accessibility, could create a kind of such a centralized source of information for our members that can help them understand whatever information we are trying to convey to them in a way that they don't necessarily have to verify other sources that the information is correct.
Thank you. And I'd love to present one more video to you and our viewers about the conference, which is coming very soon, next month, 24th of July. We'll have a global, huge conference which will unite top leaders of our world and top influencers to talk about very important topic, global crisis. This is related to everyone. We all live on this planet, and it's very difficult not to notice what's going on in the world: climate, economic, politics, transparency of information, which is not that easy nowadays. And we all have to unite and actualize the problems we are facing on the earth as one whole humanity. Let's watch a trailer about this conference and then discuss it.
Modern civilization has reached the point of instability and global crises. The global financial, economic, environmental, anthropological, and climate crises are realities that every person is already facing. But this is only the beginning. The fourth industrial revolution and a threat of mass unemployment, future without jobs, causes of the inevitable collapse of the world economy if the consumerist format is preserved, the problem of overpopulation, rapid depletion of the planet's resources, global climate change. It's time to understand the reality of world threats. International Online Conference, Global Crisis. This already affects everyone. Is the event of utmost importance, organized by volunteers from around the world on the platform of Alatra International Public Movement. On July 24th, 2021 at 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, a live broadcast of the conference will be streamed on thousands of media channels and platforms with simultaneous interpreting into more than 60 languages. The future of humanity, self-destruction, or the development of civilization.
Thank you for the video, technical support. Speaking about the reality today, speaking about the reality of our days today, there is an active discussion about the unified artificial super intelligence which is ACI, which will have information about everything and everyone, and therefore will have control over the life of society. And currently, we live in a consumer society where the main value is money, not human life. In our opinion, in your opinion, what, dear Kingsley, what threats do the introduction of unified artificial superintelligence entail in today's format of society? Please share your opinion. Thank you.
Oh, well, technology definitely is a revolution to the society, and it will continue to be. So, as much as every tool has a way in which it's being used, there's also a way in which it could be misused. So, it's very important to um, make the people understand why a technology exists and how it should be used effectively, so for the benefit of everyone. Artificial intelligence and machine learning and all these upcoming technologies have basically to drive a better future. And so, but people don't have adequate understanding of what these technologies are about. So they are already exercising some fears why they should exist and whether they are for the future good of everyone. So making people understand the essence of the technology is very important so that they would know how they fit into the future of the technology it's if it's sustained. So I would say that the benefits of AI supersede the insignificant and inconsequential disadvantages that are associated with the technology. So I would say that people should be better oriented so that they would know how they fit in. Because for me, if I see something new, I first ask myself, why is it there? And if it will be sustained, how will I cope? And that's how I've been striving, because every day presents itself with its own challenges. So I don't think that there is anything to worry about concerning these technologies, because for every tool, there is a way to misuse it. So we just need to understand why it exists and why and how it fits in.
Thank you, Kingsley. Just regarding about the artificial intelligence, yeah, just a question about do you have any samples of integrating artificial intelligence in your sphere, in the IT sphere? How do you feel as a specialist in this sphere? Do you feel yourself secure in the near future?
Well, it's still a compliment of what I just said earlier. So there isn't any fears at all. But in practice, I have seen, not personally implemented, but seen the use of machine learning in data interpretation. In the field of medicine, you could collect information about patients and come up with statistics of the health status of the society based on the um, interpretation of the data. So that has helped a lot in understanding the trends of people and their way of life in regards to their health. So I don't think there is um, any anything to to generate any sort of anxiety in people because of that. And so there's one other that I haven't had experience, but I have viewed documentaries and know that there is what we call the smart city. and with smart cars and smart house with intelligent objects. So that itself is very good, honestly. But there seems to be some challenges with how this technology will fit in to the normal human lives. I'm saying this based on the documentary, not because I've been there before. Okay, but I quite understand the challenges, and so I wish I could express it now, so for others to understand where we are in this technology, which doesn't mean that they have adverse effects on humans. So, and that is in the use of smart cars along with regular automobiles. So the decision making of these vehicles is not well optimized to align with the normal way of transportation. Okay, so if we have to sustain this technology, we might have to create a separate city for them. I think there's something like that already in some locations where what you have there are all smart objects, smart everything. Okay, so I think that would help in understanding how these objects will work on their own before we can think of, integrating them to the usual human society. So I don't see that as a disadvantage. So in a way that this technology should be withdrawn, but I believe there is a way that we can have this technology, sustain them, and still use it, because they seem to have, if I'm not since, climate change is a problem, and that's what people are challenged with, polluted air all around due to bad fueling of vehicles and bad, what do you call it now? Burning of fossil and other materials in the environment, because there were the regulation in place to ensure that people dispose waste properly is not strict enough in some locations. So people have ways of disposing waste that is causing abuse to the environment, and so causing an abuse to the environment. So we have a long way to go, even outside the use of these technologies. Ordinarily, within the sphere of the normal daily human life, there are challenges that we are yet to resolve. So if these technologies would not even create the problems, then we can think of them as the future of humanity. But in the meantime, we have to first address the challenges that we have, because electric cars don't mess up the air. It just works on its own without causing any problem to humans. So we need to address these problems on their own and ensure that they are solved, even with the technology that already exists.
Thank you, Kingsley, for your thoughts. And when we live in creative society, I would feel exactly what you were talking about. Technologies are making our life easier. Smart things making our life more comfortable. We are getting more access to each other. We can communicate all over the world with each other. We can use very speedy machines and so on. Sadly, now we are living in consumer society. So we really need to think a lot how to implement all these technologies without harming people. And I know that there are already so many technologies which can substitute human force on factories, on different technical stations, on ships, in IT area. For example, there is artificial technology which can make a code as a developer. Just yesterday, I was discussing this with a developer by itself, and he said, yeah, I feel like my job can be done by a machine very soon. So what I want you to ask, which conditions we should provide in the world to let those people who might lose their jobs because machines will be able to do these jobs, to make them feel like they can still find a way to earn for their lives and feel comfortable. Which conditions should exist in our world?
Actually, that has been the question in the minds of people, that if the future is going to be managed and controlled by technologies with electronics, then where will human fit in and align with these technologies in a way that it will not affect how they live their life, affect in a negative sense. If these technologies are here to solve human problems, then they shouldn't create any additional problems. So the conditions that can be put in place, which itself some have already been implemented already in some society, is wealth creation. If people have enough to get what they need, that will not be a problem. But if you try to solve a problem and they see that as a problem, you will have implemented a solution, but it's a problem to some persons, then you're going to create more problem, and it might even cost much more than ever. So wealth creation is very important. I know that some society are already having this kind of sort of government-supported lottery system, which is helping the society along with. So if you can devise and implement similar systems that can help people get enough that they need to survive, then whether you put robots in the factory to work 24/7, as long as they are getting the money they need for what they need the money for, they won't care. But if these robots are competing with them, then they will think weird and then come up with some consequential approaches on how to survive. So wealth creation is one and very, very important. And more so, understanding of this technology as a challenge is also important, because if people don't understand these technologies, they tend to have a wrong impression about what these technologies are. If you see something that is solving a problem, but it's not aligning with your own way of life, you take it as a challenge. But people have the wrong orientation, the wrong education, and think that they are imposing this technology into their society. And so, for instance, 5G. 5G is a problem of virtually everywhere. It has not fully gained its way into all nations, but we know that it has lots of benefits. So if you can look at that and basically say this technology should be better, integrated to the society for the benefit of all, than having it removed entirely because you don't have full knowledge of what it's meant for. So you need to get the people educated well enough and make them see other options of how to survive if these technologies will be sustained. So these are my views.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Kingsley. Yeah, it seems like in consumer society, in this society where we are living now, present time, it is to have high-tech or artificial intelligence technologies, it is quite a challenging. And we don't get, and we might not get the all benefits of it. But in creative society with another mindset of people, it seems like it gonna bring more benefits, or just like the maximum benefit of it. Yeah. And what do you think? Is it important that people take an active part in the transformation of society?
Definitely. There is no way you can transform a society without the elements consistent of the society itself. So you need to get the people well educated, oriented, informed about the change that will be setting in, and so they will be better prepared. But if something comes upon the people suddenly, then the reaction would have adverse effects on how the solution would have benefits humanity. So people need to be well educated, well informed. You have to take it down to the grassroots level. Let them see it how it is in its raw sense. Internet, when it came up, there wasn't internet in so many villages, in so many rural areas. But as time went by, even people in their farms could now make calls. They use mobile phones, and so they use this technology. So we need to make the implementation of this solution sustainable. It's very important, so that people will not have, because personally, I didn't believe that people would have so much, rejection for 5G. People like speed. The speed is very important to how we live our life, how we do our thing. So if you have a technology that is going to make your activity smoother and faster, I don't think there should be any objection to that. So, but surprisingly, due to misinformation, people are having, some kind of repulsive attitude. So, some technology that would have benefited humanity better. So, information and education is very important in how these technologies can better be integrated without people having wrong orientation about their adverse effects.
Thank you, Kingsley. And speaking about the information and education, we are now in with the project of Creative Society. We are on the level of information that we are informing every single person in the world to get know about the project, to share the idea of the project, and I'm happy that we had a chance to talk about it today as well. And thank you very much for coming and bringing out such important topics for all humanity. And now we have a tradition after each interview to ask our dear guests to nominate your friends and fellows for the same interview. Dear Kingsley, will you be how to say just like would do you have friends whom you want to nominate to talk and to bring another topics to discuss about?
Well, I can't say for now because I don't know their views about the creative society, but I might bring it up in one of our chats and see whether they'll be interested. Certainly, if they are, you would get their consent.
But I guess you definitely will share about the project of Creative Society with your friends and your people around you.
Sure. I actually discussed with a friend, and he was quite, interested in the fact that the bottom line is to create a peaceable society for everyone. But there might be some other things that someone didn't know. So, but no qualms. I would share with others, and if it's something that is pleasant to them, they would want to show interest.
Thank you, Kingsley. Yeah, as Nazira said, we are on the information stage now, and it's really very important to bring to every human in the world the information about the project of Creative Society. Every person has a right to know that we can change this world, and every person has a right to participate in Creative Society and to live in the new society, a society of happiness. And I want to address to our viewers, everybody who will watch this interview, everybody of you guys can join us. It's very easy. Just go to our website, allatraunites.com. Now you're seeing a small tutorial. There is a huge red button, join. Just fulfilling few pieces of information about you and choosing a convenient language for yourself. You can press join and become a part of our society. If you choose third option, which is taking active actions in building Creative Society, our members, who are all volunteers, will contact you and we'll discuss with you understanding of Creative Society, answer your questions, and discuss how you can help to bring this amazing, beautiful format of society faster into our lives. Please don't hesitate. And also, if you have any comments, ideas, questions, you can write to us at info@allatraunites.com. You're all welcome. Kingsley, I have also a question to you. Which small actions to your mind can do any person in the world, again, no matter of any differences, to bring Creative Society faster into our life? What can you do after this interview? What can do your friends and anybody else?
Please, will you ask the question again? I didn't seem to get some. You asked whether there are steps that can be taken to help promote the visions of Creative Society by talking about
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
The internet is there, so as a medium to share information. So, and the Creative Society is all aware on Facebook, on YouTube. I don't know about your Twitter handles. And so if we keep promoting the face of the society in all of this media, then people will know about it. So, and I'm aware it's barely a decade old. So, but we can still get more people aware about the vision of Creative Society. So, on the part of the movement, sponsoring the the pages on Facebook, for instance, and on others on YouTube, so that there are adverts all around, then people will get to know about the Creative Society. And so if I like the Creative Society, YouTube in its Facebook in its intelligence would tell my friends that I like this movement, whether they're interested. So Facebook is already doing its own part, in letting people know about the Creative Society movement. So, like I said earlier, I talked about it. I think it's something actually good to the ear, whoever hears. But there are some factors we are aware that might want to repel people's understanding. But as we present the mission in a simpler approach, like a government that is trying to build an harmonized government, then people will really understand how the Creative Society fits into every nation. So on my part, I think it's all about the activities I get involved in that are related to the projects that will help in spreading the mission to people everywhere.
Thank you, Kingsley. Yeah, awesome instruments. And as you can see, even such instruments like social networks can be used in good hands for a good thing. Because, you know, many people say like social networks steal our attention, our time, but they can be used for spreading positive information and also to spread the information about creative society. Thank you for your steps, and it was amazing to talk to you today, to hear your thoughts. Thanks a lot for your time, and maybe you have something to wish to all people of this world who are already in creative society or who still don't know about it, but maybe we'll find out on this interview. What would you wish to them?
We live our lives in a way that benefits us, one. And if we live our life in that, others would benefit from our lives. But if your life or in the way you live a life is not good, then others will be negatively affected. So if you see the mission of creative society, for instance, which is to better livelihood for everyone, you put yourself in the center of the mission and see how it benefits you. Definitely, if it benefits you and you put into practice the elements of the foundations of the society, of the creative society, then others would surely benefit from that too. So what I would say is that you should see it as a way to better your own way of life, which will consequently make the lives of people around you better. Nobody lives in isolation. But that's the point.
Amazing words. Thanks a lot for your participating. Nazira, I thank you too for co-hosting today. It was so beautiful to see you too. And dear viewers, now we will show you a musical video from one of our conference, which was called What the Prophets Dreamt of, the conference which was created to unite people of all the nations, religions, races, and no matter difference they have. I hope you will like it and enjoy it, and see you on ALLATRA TV Middle East. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We are more than 99%. We are people of the earth. We stand for our prophets' words and truth. We are more than 99%. United in one God, in one love. Our prophets' dreams come true. We are the 99%, but we are often being fooled. But those who are only 1%, who stole our rights and freedom too, they took our benefits away and left us with your simple rights. Our right to die for their gain, and right to listen to their lies. 1% of them, 99 of us, stop to their game. No more beating us with lies, no more drinking our blood, no more slaying our lives. We are more than 99%. We are people of the earth. We stand for our prophets' words and truth. We are more than 99%. All united in one God, in one love. Our prophets' dreams come true. We see well what's going on. We are sighted and awake. Now we know what is the truth, and we know what's fake.
We are more than 99%.
Нас больше 90%.
All prophets dreamed of peace and love.